What up everyone, it's your man XManny87 here, bringing you another top 10 video, and what I have for you today are my top 10 favorite action figures of 2024. This list is based off everything I purchased in 2024 for my own personal collection from a few different brands. If you've been keeping track, I did about 4 top 10 Marvel Legends videos, so I'm going to do something a little different here. I'm only going to stick to one Marvel Legends figure on this list. I'm excluding Lady Mandarin since she's been twice on one of my list categories, and I don't want to overdo it adding her onto another list for the third time. Gonna pick my other favorite Legends of the year. Could be Phoenix, Odin, Carnage, or it could be the Sentinels you see here on your screen. You'll see. Reason why I'm only sticking to one Marvel Legends mainly because since I gave Legends a lot of love already with 4 top 10 Legends videos, I want to give the same love back to other figures from other brands that I absolutely enjoyed collecting in 2024. As always, don't take it personal if you don't see one of your favorites on my list because I'm not making your list. I'm making my own list from my personal favorite figures I had the utmost fun with. Keywords in the title, my favorite. There's no wrong way in doing it, like I always say. Before I get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video. It'll help show your support for my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. No honorable mentions. Let's just skip that and get into it, shall we? Now with that said, let's get ready to count down! Kicking things off at the number 10 spot is the Marvel Selects Crimson Dynamo. This is the Crimson Dynamo I've always wanted. I've always wanted this classic version in Marvel Legends, but since it never happened, I'll take a Selects one for now until a Legends one is made. Selects did a superb job on this with the sculpting and even the metallic decal, which is not too shiny and not too dark either. It's in the middle and is the right tone in my opinion. Yeah, the downside is the single jointed arms and legs, but honestly, it doesn't bother me because of the size. The size was important to make him look imposing, and one thing I love about Selects is those oversized characters that complement the Marvel Legends collection so well in the likes of Groot, Rhino, Titanium Man, some others you can name, and now this Crimson Dynamo. The accessories is the most fun thing with this figure. Alternate heads, alternate faceplates with one of them having a beam effect like the one you see here, alternate hands, even alternate hands with blasting beam effects too. They were all over the place here in a good way. Just a great overall presentation of my favorite Iron Man villain of all time in figure form. At number 9, the Spin Masters PlayStation Series Aloy. As a huge fan of the Horizon video game series, this was a must for me to have on my video game shelf. I didn't care what company tackled her. I just wanted a good 1/12 scale Aloy figure. What I didn't expect was Spin Masters to do it of all people and deliver us one of the best female figures of 2024, hands down. For a domestic line, they practically made this figure, or most of this figure, basically like an import, minus the pins and single jointed arms. Even though she has single jointed arms, she's got more articulation around that. As long as she can get into archery poses, that's what I care about, and she can. I think she has over 40 points of articulation, something ridiculous like that. Even her hair has multiple points of articulation, with some parts of her hair having ball joints to move in whatever direction, and if you played the game, then you know that's important to capture, as her hair was always erratic in her agile maneuvering. That's incredibly well done and an amazing feature to have. She's heavily detailed in all the important areas around her, like the focus piece on her ear and other tribalistic pieces of the Nora tribe on her costume and weapons. The accessories are the grand winner here, with tons of interchangeable faceplates, again very import-like style, tons of interchangeable hands and weapons including Silen's lance and her signature bow and arrow, with the bow having an actual string to it. I mean, when do we get that in a domestic line nowadays? I can't recall the last time one. Just one of the dopest video game figures ever. Number 8, Transformers Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. This to me is the definitive Optimus Prime by Hasbro. I think Hasbro was always looking for their own MP44 Prime in their line, and they found it here with this one. This is their best Optimus Prime scale-wise too. He's got the right bulk and height, I feel. Finally, getting him in Commander class was long overdue. Always wanted an 86 movie Optimus Prime, and he's screen accurate for the most part. The red and blue colorways are perfect for me. I loved all the new tooling they did with the figure and trailer to upscale it, and lots of accessories, and giving us effects not just for him in bot mode but in alt mode too. He poses very well and has a smoothness to his transformation steps that feels seamless. It's probably the best Optimus Prime figure I ever owned, and without a shadow of a doubt, the best Optimus Prime figure Hasbro has ever made, hands down. At number 7, G.I. Joe Classified Series Clutch with the Vamp vehicle. The Clutch figure is a great combination with replayable display and play value. Clutch is a great figure that poses well. He's got spectacular paint apps and details like his tattoos, some fine accessories added, and also army building potential makes for a fun figure. The Vamp vehicle is display and play for me all day, every day. The level of details all over the place here are pushed to the max, like the decals, reflective mirrors, and everything else sculpted on here. The painted details are spot on without any applications of sticker decals. A great array of accessories between Clutch and the vehicle. Then they added play features such as rolling rubberized tires, the tow winch, opening the hood, even adding some functions for easy handling like folding over the windshield to help adjust Clutch's hands, gripping the steering wheel or gear shift. They really were thoughtful in almost every aspect of play. This vehicle is a ton of fun with a lot of replay and display value. I always say replay value is king. This was my favorite G.I. Joe item of 2024. At number 6, Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Cami. The second female figure in the Jada Toys Street Fighter line, and they continue to nail it. Chun-Li had great articulation, and I think this one beats that out in terms of range. I feel like you get way more mobility in the torso area, which is perfect for her diving kicks and just kicks in general. Even her braided pigtails are articulate, which is a great thing for making her posing even more dynamic. Making them bendy wire would have took it to another level. She came out amazing with beautiful sculpting, paint apps, and just faithful to the character's look as they didn't censor her rear side. Jada Toys knows what to give you in accessories for a small amount. She has 2 stellar head sculpts, 2 sets of hands, and her diving kicks effect. Only thing she's missing was a flight stand to really utilize the kick effect. Hopefully Jada Toys plans to release some flight stands for their line. It would prove to be very useful for a lot of these characters. Jada Toys gave me everything I wanted in a Cami figure, knowing that Storm Collectibles let me down by never doing her classic look. Since the Soto figures, this is the Cami figure I've been waiting for, and it didn't disappoint, not one bit. Number 5, Jada Toys again with their Street Fighter 2 line, and this time it's M. Bison. Guys, I'm about 12 figures in on Jada Toys, even buying some of the Player 2 looks, and I'm hooked. I was hooked from the beginning, but this Bison was the one to really hook me in for good. This is a rabbit hole figure for me because I just want more and more. What Jada Toys gives you for a $25 value is impeccable. I always feel like they give you import level stuff for a domestic line. Here, this Bison proves that companies can do fabric wired capes under this price point when most companies give you excuses that it's too expensive to make and produce, but that's because they don't want to put in the work. And Jada Toys puts in the work as they are dedicated to the craft and to their fans. It was the perfect choice as it moves nice and feels nice. The articulation is just so good, and the sculpt, the body proportions, everything on this Bison, they nailed. Along with the fabric posable cape, you can alternate his look by removing it, as he has swappable shoulder pauldrons, he has 2 good looking head sculpts, alt hands, and a psycho power effect. I want to see a deluxe on this guy like they did with Chun-Li, Violent Ken, and Evil Ryu. I want to see what other extra stuff they can add because they never disappoint in those deluxe offerings. Bison has always been my favorite Street Fighter villain, and this figure just feels like the final boss that he is. At number 4, Mafex Bane, the Batman villain I wanted Mafex to tackle the most. I was concerned as I've never seen them tackle big-sized characters like this in their line before this guy got revealed. Then when I saw him and got him in hand, oh man, did they deliver, and they delivered big. For their first big sized figure in the line, they got it right. He's perfect in his classic Nightfall look. Growing up as a Latino, there wasn't many Latino characters to root for, so Bane was my guy. Also growing up as a huge wrestling fan, he had that lucha libre look, which made me love him even more besides being an awesome character. I love the smart and calculating strategist that he is, and as a kid, seeing him be the first one to take Batman down after breaking his back was a crazy big deal. I wanted all the Bane figures. I owned almost damn near all of them, and this tops them all. For the longest time, the DCUC Bath was my favorite, and though I still miss that line to this day, I knew that the articulation was always dated. Articulation is exactly what he needed, and it's one of the best you'll get on a big beefy figure like this. The sculpture is amazing with his dual singlet, cargo pants, gloves, and wrestling boots. The venom tube running down from the back of his head to his wrist. I was worried about the hard plastic they used for the tube instead of going with a more pliable material, as I feared something like that would break easily, but so far so good. His muscles being chiseled like a god, then alternate heads and hands is all he really needs for accessories, and he has all of that. Mafix continues to dominate the comic side of DC figures, giving us the best versions of the characters in 6-inch scale, and Bane is the best figure out of all the villains they've ever done. Coming in at number 3, it's the Mattel WWE Ultimate Edition Asuka. Holy shit, bro. Details. It is pure artistic beauty all over here. That's what I get when I see Asuka walk out from her entrance to the ring. She's just a walking masterpiece of art, and that's what I get with this figure. That color splash throughout just gives this figure some vibrance of aura. They finally gave her the kimono with a beautiful design pattern and fur. It's Mattel's best soft goods material they've ever produced. The kabuki mask is so sick with amazing paintwork, and it fits nicely on the head. I've never seen Mattel use this much paint before. It's like they blew their entire budget on paint for the year on this sole figure alone. And I love it. Accessories besides the kabuki mask and the kimono, she has alt hands, 2 heads, which look phenomenal. Again, the paint is undefeated here. She has 1 head with the mist dripping down her mouth, but that should have called for a tertiary head, blowing the mist with a mist effect similar to what they did with the Great Muta figure. The articulation is decent with butterfly joints and toe joints to really capture those wild Asuka poses. I need to see improvements on the neck and torso because I feel like they both need a double ball peg system at the neck and the diaphragm. Other than that, she's absolutely incredible. I've been waiting for a WWE figure to make it in my top 10 as a huge wrestling fan, and this is it. Probably my favorite WWE figure ever, and it's my favorite figure to look at on my WWE shelf. At number 2, I have the Marvel Legends Odin. I've praised the sculpture to this several times, and I'll never stop. They didn't miss a beat with this, as everywhere on this figure is sculpted with details, with not one area being left untouched. From the fur all the way to the colorful blues and golden armored parts. Hasbro was on another level here. I don't know what got into them, but they chose to be in God mode for this god of a figure. You have about 10 different accessories to choose how you want to stylize your Odin figure. A figure never gets boring when you have so many looks to play with, and I'm so thrilled he has a fabric cape so I can have him seated on a throne like the king he is. This is not just a deluxe. This is like 2 deluxes in one. He's massive, he's towering, and the All-Father just feels almighty in figure form. When Hasbro goes all out in Marvel Legends, it shows, and this is a perfect example of going all out. If you ask me to describe this figure with one word, then I guess I'll say what I said in my top 10 comic Marvel Legends list, and that word is immaculate. And at the number 1 spot, it is the Hot Toys video game masterpiece, Spider-Man 2 PS5 Black Suit Special Edition. Okay, so I have to apologize here, as you noticed that the figure is not on my turntable, and that's because it broke on me last minute. So I'm bummed out about it, as I pride myself in high quality production and presentation, but I have to wait to get a new one, and I just don't have the time right now to wait with my schedule, as I need to put this video out. So please forgive me, but I just took a few pictures instead that I'll share with you as I talk about it. Anyways, when you want to talk about toys on another level, then it's Hot Toys. They are just in a different world, and I'm happy to be living in it. This is a video game masterpiece indeed. It is completely video game accurate to the point it looks better than the one in the game. The symbiote is my all-time favorite Spider-Man alternate costume, so I was happy to see it in the game. The figure really captures that material to make the symbiote look slimy and lifelike, where it does look parasitic. The details are just insane with all the texturing, and it all feels so damn cool and creepy at the same time. The head sculpt is phenomenal, and the eyes have that foggy appearance, as in the game it had that look as if it were moving clouds. Hard to describe, but it gave it a more alien feel and appeal. Also, most important thing to note is that normally Hot Toys is best to pose when they use the regular cloth fabric, as it doesn't cause creasing or wrinkles, opposed to the pleather, because that causes permanent creasing and wrinkles that ruins the figures. With this pleather material, it's different because it blends in with the design of the symbiote, which looks to have the creasing kind of look on the side, which I like to joke and call it symbiote stretch marks. So I don't mind leaving this posed at all. The accessories are top tier, with a bunch of hands and webbing accessories that weren't reused from their previous video game Spideys. The magnetic web wings in black are solid, a little tricky to attach at first, but found the sweet spot after a few attempts. The special edition comes with this beautiful alternate head that has the symbiote crawling over the mask, and the details to this are just insane. Even seeing a piece of the eye forming from the symbiote. Still not done covering accessories, because you get a ton of tendrils effects, and then the Waldos with the tendrils all over it is just wildly insane. This thing is just wild. I think this is the craziest Spider-Man figure ever made. There were a lot of Spider-Man figures that blew me away, but I don't think nothing came close like this one did. This is just God tier. I love the Spider-Man 2 PS5 game, so I wanted this black suit in my collection. So my love for the game enhances this figure for me, and this is the figure I had the utmost fun with. This is without a shadow of a doubt my favorite action figure of 2024. Now I kick it back to you. What was your favorite top 10 action figures of 2024? Who ended up being your number one? And what was your favorite action figure line you had the most fun collecting in 2024? Mine was definitely Marvel Legends. They just killed it in 2024 more than any other year. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another top 10 video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Again, leave a like to show your support for my channel. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.